Do you remember the gifts the wise men brought to Jesus? I know we're in the season, we're not in the season of Christmas or Epiphany anymore, are we? So why, Pastor? Why are we talking about the wise men here in Lent? Well, because they brought Jesus gifts, one that foreshadowed what would later happen to him. Do you remember that? They brought Jesus gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh. Gold was something expensive and suited for a king. Frankincense was, again, something expensive and suited for a king. And myrrh was expensive and, well, it wasn't really suited for a king as much as it was suited for someone who was dead, to be frank. It was commonly used in burial. You know, while this may strike us as a weird gift, in hindsight, we see, don't we? We see just how appropriate it was for a king who came to earth to die. Fast forward then a little more than 30 years, and we find Jesus receiving another unique gift. John's gospel tells us about this gift given to Jesus just days before his betrayal. It says this in John chapter 12 and verse 3. It says, Mary, therefore, took a pound of expensive ointment made from pure nard and anointed the feet of Jesus and wiped his feet with her hair. The house was filled with the fragrance of the perfume. You know, at first glance, at first hearing, this gift may seem out of place too, doesn't it? It was certainly an expensive gift, and it was one that was given in abundance, and yet it was also given in love and faith. Jesus had been telling his closest followers about what would soon happen to him, how he would be handed over, how he would be crucified, how he would be put to death. And while Jesus' own disciples seemed to fail to understand this at times, fail to understand what Jesus was saying, perhaps Mary understood it far better. For she gives Jesus a gift that was used to anoint bodies for burial. You know, whether the wise men fully knew how prophetic their gifts would be, whether Mary fully knew just how appropriate her gift was as well. Through God's word, we see, don't we? We see clearly that they both of those gifts were spot on. For they pointed to exactly what Jesus had come to earth to do, to die on the cross for you. May these gifts then remind us of what Jesus came to earth to do. And may Christ's gifts of love for us on the cross, may they strengthen us and lead us to share gifts of love with those around us, so that they may be pointed to Christ, so that they may know what he has done for them too. I hope to see you at church tomorrow as you are able, as we hear God's word together, as we receive his gifts in communion as well. I hope to see you then.